Hello YouTubers, this is an update on the progress of getting the amphibian off the ground. Had a good 2 runs down the runway, and I was able to correctly assume or verify that the elevator has authority at about 30-35 miles an hour to lift the nose, which means it's weight and balance and its actual operation is good enough to fly. I also was able to take the ailerons and do a quick aileron switch, and the actual wings tilted as in response to the aileron controls, and it means that I actually had to have been off the ground slightly at least, because the main wheels on the floats, when they're locked down, there is no shock absorber, no give or play. They're all solidly mounted, and so in order for the wings to actually move, I actually had to have been off the ground, or at least was lifting the tires off. Unfortunately, the GoPro that was in the cockpit recorded all the instrumentation, but it's kind of boring to look at. But the one on the outside only lasted for about 12 minutes. It's included at the end of this video, just so you can see that, yep, you know, it does have 1 or 2 of the little nose lifts that we initially did, showing that it actually did lift up. But yeah, since then it's been really windy, so I don't know if you can hear it in the camera or not, but I'm at home right now. And so what does an aspiring test pilot do when it's windy? Well, here it is. Last 2 or 3 days I've been building this chicken coop. And the chicken coop is basically 4x8. It's up off the ground. It's got a little door here that moves up and down to let the chickens in. And as you can see, it's made out of plywood, etc. And I'll show you how the door works here. See, it goes up, it locks open, and the chicken's going to run in and run out, and there will be a ramp going down to the ground. The underneath of the house will be fenced in with wire, so it'll be a protected area, and their food and water situation will be there, and there'll be a little run out here in the daylight and have a top on it, so they can't fly out, but it gives them some exercise on the ground. Obviously it's not going to be right here, it's going to be moved up near my house, but what it does, it's like I said, 4x8, and we put some ventilation that's screened inside the sides there on the ends, and this is our nest box. We have 5 different chambers here that will have hay and stuff in there for them to lay their eggs, and then we can easily access the eggs without having a real problem. And then in here we made it so that we can open it up, and once they have soiled their bedding enough, I think the camera will adjust, you can see that there's ventilation in the other half of the other end of the coop down there. And on the roof here we've put up 4 bars, or sticks basically, for them to roost on. And it gives them some place to, they like to sleep when they're roosted. And then you can see there's ventilation through the eave of the roof as well as at the top. And even though it's been sitting out in the sunshine here with the white roof, it has remained relatively cool. And the idea of this is that we can take a rake or a hoe and scrape all the stuff out that's soiled bedding, and our wheelbarrow will sit right here underneath, and it goes right into the wheelbarrow, and we'll take it out and put it in the garden or whatever. But this is what I do when I'm not flying. which I've had a lot of time not flying because of the weather. But anyway, it's just ways of keeping busy. And then we can lock this up. Yeah, it's a little stiff at the moment. There we go. There's this side. And there we are. And if we want to, we can lock them up at night. Keep them protected, although we don't really have any predators here other than some dogs. But we don't have the raccoons or other things, foxes, that will come in and really challenge your protective mechanisms. But anyway, that's what I've been doing the last 3 days. So just to keep you abreast of things, and hopefully next week there'll be a couple days that I can fly, and we'll get the amphibian off the ground a little bit higher. All right, take care. And hello once again, YouTubers. I've just told you about my chicken coop. So the first residents are in a small pen, basically, that we use as a brooder type of thing. And here they are. They're getting big enough that I should have the coop finished good enough that they can get in it and have a little bit more room. We have some automatic waterers, and we have a light, and we have an automatic feeder over there. We use the sheet to cover them up when it's too windy and too cold. And the light over there not only acts as a heat source if they need it, but it also attracts bugs at night, and the chickens will sit around it and pick the bugs off as they come near the light and kind of get free protein that way. As you can see, it's their feeding time here, so they're kind of interested in what I'm doing. We change the water twice a day. The feeder lasts about a day. It's just a little automatic thing that has the food to go into it. But anyway, pretty soon they'll be in their new coop and have loads of places to run around and lots of things to do. So that's what we're doing. All right, take care now. Mm-hmm.